Yo, 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 it's your favorite Republican out here. Republican.
And it's your man Jam C in the building.
What's good with you, kid?
I'm good, man. I can't call it. I can't call it.
We
Lot,
almost twin
lots.
we almost twinning with these shirts.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's not the same color, but it's the same styles. That's how you know it's polo. You got
Right.
anybody know this print? It's Ralph Lauren.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what we doing? We talking because we got lips today.
Yeah, absolutely. We are like as always. I'm feeling pretty good. A little sleepy, but I'm feeling really
Yeah, I'm
pretty
tired.
good today.
Yeah, I'm
And I
tired
think
too.
we're gonna keep today's energy a little short, people, because Republican and I both got other things going on. We, as you know, we in two different locations, so we always try to maintain and go up, keep going vocal. And it dawned on me, and I was just thinking about this, and we was talking off screen, is reading. Like we don't talk about, we don't discuss the books we read, and are we still reading? And if we are, what are we reading?
Listen, if you think you're gonna hide some money from me by putting it in a book, nigga, you gonna lose that money because I'm in it.
Yeah,
I'm in
right.
these books. I'm in these books. So I think today what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through some of our favorite books,
Yeah,
some that may have that's was impactful on our lives, and if you can grab them and pick them up, it's they worth having. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's some few others that I don't have with me right now, but I've read them, and I would
yeah,
highly recommend them as well. So, and
yeah.
I'm gonna start off with this book right here, The Winning, with Tim Grover. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know who this Tim Grover is, he was Michael Jordan's personal trainer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he
Mm-hmm.
became to be Dwayne Wade's, Kobe Bryant's, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so all of them had that kind of winning mentality, and he talks about how you need what you need to have that winning mentality, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he was with Jordan almost his whole career, so he knows Jordan really really well. As far as rehabbing him back to injuries. Dwayne Wade, he rehabbed him. Kobe, he rehabbed him, and he gives
Mm-hmm.
some pointers in this book on their mindset and how to kind of put your mind in the frame of winning. So I
Mm-hmm.
think this was a really good book, and if you ever get a chance to pick it up and read it, you can't borrow mine, but you can pick it up and read it yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So I thought this was a good book. So that's
And
my
also, and
my
also those with those books, people just people should know too. There's a site called Thrift Books. If you don't want to pay full price for the book, Thrift Books have those books where they use, but you can actually get them cheap. So a book like that would probably cost you $75, you could probably get on Thrift Books for $5.
yo.
Somebody
You
who
wildin', bro. What book cost $75?
No, listen, no, I'm just saying some of them books be probably just giving you a ballpark price on certain books. So let's say if it's $30. Let's say the book $30. That's a fair price. You could get that book for probably $2, $3 on thrift books. So like, because I get some of my books from that. Like, because some books you can't find anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
somebody owns them, or you could buy library books too when they get ready, because they try not to throw nothing away. They rather sell it to you, than to just trash it or discard it. I still get books from the library, but I got a book that I've read. Actually, let me dig down here. This bin. This book is called Conversation with God by
Mm-hmm.
Neil Donald Walsh. This is an excellent book. What this tells you is that we have what Rakim used to say, the 5% say the third eye. What they mean is that's God speaking through you. It's the inner God. It's your first mind. And so, how many times in our life where we make decisions and we not too sure, and then we make that decision and it don't work out, and we be like, damn, something told me that I should have. That's your inner God telling you. That's your intuition. That's telling you. That's your conversation with the higher power.
Mm-hmm.
You're already tapped in, and the book is just basically telling you you're tapped in. You just have to really start focusing and listening to that inner God, because that's him conversating through you, and you're able to share your growth through your conversations with God. It's a really good book, and it also has exercise in there for you too, to see where you've grown and how far you've grown.
Nice, nice. And it's so crazy that you just talked about conversation with God. My next one, but this one was really powerful. Outwitting the devil,
Oh
right?
wow. Mm-hmm.
So the first half of the book talks about, how people are being, how you get tempted by the devil, the things that he does, da 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 da, right? How people fall victim. The second half of the book is actually having a conversation with the devil, right?
Whoa.
And he
Mm-hmm.
literally tells you, yo, this is what I do, right? This is, I attack this, right? I go after this. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know, and he says one of the biggest, one of his biggest tactics is fear, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he loved the religious people, right? He loved them because what does church say? What does, any religion say? That you got to do everything you can not to go to hell. You understand what I'm saying? So they
Mm-hmm.
pump the
Mm-hmm.
fear in you. They pump the fear in you. And he says he loves it. He loves he loves when they do that, because he swoops right in and just be like, and keep feeding that. You understand? Or attack that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, all right, so if you trying to do everything not to go here, I'm gonna do everything to make sure you get here. You understand what I'm
Got
saying?
you.
And
Yeah.
so it's yo, this thing right here is powerful. You gotta be ready for something like that because it's powerful. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got, if you're spiritual, you have an understanding of who you are and what direction you're going
Mm-hmm.
spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
So this right here, Outwitting the Devil, the author is Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill is
Mm-hmm.
the author of this book.
So now let me ask you a question. How do you think that book changed you?
Yo, so it gave me like, so when I fall short, right? When I fall short of, doing things that I should be doing, I fall short of, being on top of my game. I what I say to myself is I can't beat myself up for falling short. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's human.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fall short because I am human. But how not to beat myself up and just be like, all right, yo, pivot and get back on it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't
Mm-hmm.
waddle in it, because once you waddle in it and just start being, oh, woe is me, then he's winning. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? He's definitely winning if you get into that mindset of woe is me. So, just make that, things happen. You're human. The erasers were made on the back of pencils for everybody. You're gonna make mistakes. So with that being said, just erase it and keep it moving. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that serious. It's just that simple. Some people don't know how, and I've been there too, where as though some things happen and it's like, oh shit, this is the end of the world. This is end all be all. It's like Armageddon, right? But it really isn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do, if you're having a conflict with somebody, have a conversation. Having a conflict with your job, just just look at what you're doing and how could you do things better. Or, if it means staying a couple minutes, an hour or two later, or clocking in an hour or two earlier, if you can. You understand what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
it's just everything lies within you. So it all depends on how you see it and um how you gonna move forward from once it happens.
Got you, got you. Okay, my next book, and I'm gonna piggyback off yours. My next book is also by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich, the complete classic text. This was probably the best book. I had the other one, but I ended up getting this one too.
I got
Same book, that just re addition to it. I believe in this book, what it teaches you is like the science of being successful. Like we all have that seed within us. You ever, I give an example. You ever like, and this is one of the, and I guess I want to break it down so people can
you.
understand. For those who don't, you ever have like when it's something that you're trying to get for yourself and you concentrate just on that without knowing how you're going to actually achieve it, because you might not have money in your pocket, but you put in the work to get to a point where something happens based on your drive, based on your belief, based in knowing and thinking and knowing that this is for you. Like, this is for me. Like, that job is for me. That car is for me. Without knowing how you're going to obtain it, but you make the effort to go towards it wholeheartedly with all faith. And somehow there's something divine happens and you're able to achieve that level of success or achieve that material item, whatever it is. That's the science that we all have to learn to tap in, because we don't have that. But in this book, it actually teaches you through reading and learning that we all have that. You think and you grow rich. So shall you think, so shall you be.
Nice.
Or as I would say, the way you think is the way you should be, or you will be, as long as you have faith in self and you believe in it.
This one here is a very. This is powerful too. This is called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, right? And so the four agreements, if I could just give me a quick second. The first agreement is be impeccable with your words. So anything that you say, stand by it, right? The
Mm-hmm.
second agreement is don't take anything personally. So don't take it personal. It ain't you. The third agreement is don't make assumptions, right? So don't assume. And then the fourth one is always do your best, right?
Okay.
So if you think
Mm-hmm.
about those four things, stick to your word, right? Always do your best, no assumptions, and don't take things personal, right? There it is. You could float through life so easily just applying those four things to your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because every time somebody says something to you, doesn't necessarily mean you gotta take it personal. If somebody says something actual, don't take it personal. And then sometimes when you have a conversation, you're assuming that they're talking about you. You have assumptions that this is gonna happen this way, or it's gonna go out this way. And when you assume and it don't happen that way, now you upset, now you hurt. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Absolutely.
don't assume. But then always put your best foot forward. Always put your best foot forward. You can't go wrong with these four agreements. I'm telling you, this one right here, this was solid. This was solid. And I know I've been saying that about every book that I brought up so far, but they all been really good books. They all been
Yeah.
really good books.
And I think what people, and again, an avid reader, and that actually takes in reading basically expands your verbiage. You don't always, and it's a great conversation if you read a good book and you. Let me ask you a question. I don't mean to be off track. I know I'm all over the place. Do men have book clubs?
Yeah, definitely.
Do they? Because most book clubs I always known it to be women. Anybody that I may have dated or all women, they all do book clubs. I mean, that's that even with Oprah book club. I've never really seen. Now I've had guys with most of my friends where we might talk about a book like me and you talk, and you always suggest a book to me and vice versa. But I've never really had a in-depth conversation other than you and I about men in book clubs. I think I need to look that up
There's
because
some out there.
I've actually never encountered that.
Nah, it's definitely some out there. There's definitely some out there.
So now my next book is this is a stretch because I think because I've been blessed to do some traveling halfway around the world. I won't say all the way around the world, but halfway around the world. So but through my travels, somebody suggested this book. It's by Terry Morrison and Wayne Conway. It's called Kiss, Bow, and Shake Hands. Now,
Mm.
what this book basically about, it teaches you its overview of all cultures, how to greet them, things they like, things you shouldn't do, because a lot of times we look at TV and sometimes that's how we learn other cultures and not know that that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So like I went to an Asian nation, and I thought I'm there. You're supposed to bow, and unbeknownst to me, that in that culture you don't bow, and that's what I was taught. because we all think one Asian person is the same nationality.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody not Chinese. So, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's not Korean. Everybody's not Japanese. So, and so that book teaches you that. It teaches you that. Like, and I think before you travel, you should know the culture, depending on you know, that way you know how to interact with people without offending them. Because just like us, cultures offend us all day on television when you
Yeah.
look at certain shit. And I've had one of the most negative experiences I've had, and this lady is deceased now. She goes, and I'll say her name. She goes by the name of Diane Martell. She was a video director, and as you can tell, she's a white lady. So she tried to tell me in a music video what black people like. So imagine having a conversation with somebody that's not black, tell you that this is how black people dress, this is how they behave. Mind you, I'm a person who I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I know how we in the hood there's a multitude of different kinds of people and there's a lot of different looks. Everybody had their own flavor, but she tried to tell me that black people only like this. And
That's
so just you know how offended that is. So imagine going someplace and telling somebody this is what you are. This is how you guys are supposed to be. This is how you. So books like that is definitely needed because you go somewhere and get killed in other countries
mm,
trying to tell them how to live and how to be.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
That you're gonna tell me how to be a black man. All right. But and still now, with that being said, this one right here was a really good one. The Ways of a Superior Man. Now, how I got onto this book, it was right before Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. Nipsey, passed away. He was doing an interview on, I think, The Breakfast Club, and I think Charlemagne asked him about some books or something,
mm-hmm.
something, and he said that the young lady, what's her name that he was dating at the time. They weren't married. Not Megan Good.
Lauren London.
Laura London. So Laura,
Okay.
he said Laura London gave him this book,
Oh,
right?
cool. I need to get that. I need to get that book.
Oh man, it is. This tells you it taps into your manhood and how you should carry yourself as a man, right? And
Mm,
how like sometimes you're going to be tested, right? And it's how you
mm-hmm.
stand up against those tests, right? Are you going to get emotional and react, or are you going to tap into your rational thinking and be like, all right, cool, this ain't got nothing to do with me, or cool, I'm gonna come at this way. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes you may have to be curse somebody out. You understand what I'm saying? But that's not what the book is telling you, but it's just telling
Gotcha.
you how to carry yourself more of a man of value, a man of substance, a man with integrity. You understand what I'm saying? So that's basically what this book really talks about. And this was a good one too. Like I've said they all been good, but this one was good as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I actually have another book, actually two books I've read. The autobiography of Frederick Douglass and this one, The 48 Laws of Power. Which everybody should have. Which I think
As you,
everybody should have.
everybody, that was my
Yeah.
next one. That was my next
Yeah.
book. That was my next book.
And yeah, and I say that because I think, and I know we got to close out soon. But I say that because books let me touch base the Frederick Douglass book. Frederick Douglass, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. I don't, you know, whatever you felt about him. If you look at him as a historian, if you don't like his story, I think one of the most like the thing I got from the story was that he had drive. You know, he
Mm-hmm.
was he was blessed in some areas where some slaves wasn't, but he had drive to be successful. Kind of remind me in some ways of Barack Obama
Mm-hmm.
and some of his story. But and I know he had intentions on doing right by his people, but again, you know, in order to be successful, there are some sacrifices that have to be made. It's a lot like being a parent. You know, when you're a parent, you have to make some decisions that's for the betterment of the house. Everybody in the house is not going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to be upset with decisions you make. And so I what I try to do with all of these stories is I apply them just for self, not for anybody else, but for
No, definitely.
myself. So
Yeah.
I don't tell somebody else how they should view it, how should, and I think that's what makes it interesting about us showing you these books today is because we feel like how you interpret it is how you interpret it. You're entitled to feel how you feel because in feelings there's no wrong and right.
It
How
is
you
though,
feel. Well,
because your
I'll
feelings
say
is subjective,
no, that's true. But
but
you're
they're true though.
entitled. But
But they're true. You're entitled to
yeah,
your
that's what I'm
feelings.
saying. So you're entitled to feel how you feel, and nobody can say you wrong for feeling that way.
Well,
Yes,
you
I'm saying
shouldn't
because
feel that way.
yeah. So I think what we're trying to tell people today is read is it's important that we read because in order for us to read, especially now, we grow. Because I look at social media, which I hate being on nowadays. Is we're losing out here in the race of knowledge, and then they're destroying everything, every good book that to educate yourself on. And we caught up in this Trump frenzy and all this other. But I think we need to be reading more. And two, I want to get in the book club. I need to find a men's book club. Please
Start one.
email
I
me.
gotta do is start one. Start one.
Yeah,
But
you're right. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do
I'm gonna
that.
just say that about this book here. It's about strategizing. It's about uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm about to say attacking your opponent, but how to be strategic with when you're faced with certain things. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
it's this ain't really an easy read, to be
No,
honest
it's not.
with you. It's not
No,
an
it's not.
easy read. I didn't
Mm-mm.
really quite finish it, as you can see. I've still got a little bit of ways to go. But I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm on like law 30 law wait, I tell you 38. I'm on law 38, in between 38 and 39, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but it's not an easy read. I think that's why it's kind of took me. I haven't really finished it, but from what the summation of what I've gotten up until those 37 laws is that you should always be thinking, right?
Yeah.
Don't ever fall asleep at the wheel. You should always be thinking, and it's
Mm-hmm.
always somebody's some most people have interior motives, and you need to be able to outthink them with those interior
Mm-hmm.
motives. So
Mm-hmm.
I got this is my last one. This is the one I just finished this one. The Student of Love, right? The if you're familiar with this book, you may be probably seen it on online a little bit. The
Mm-hmm.
guy who do the Dear Future Wifey podcast, he wrote
Okay.
this book. He wrote this book, and so this was gifted to me um, as a Christmas gift. Thank you, Secret Santa. But this was a really good book. Talked about love, relationships, how to be accountable. One thing that he talked about in his book was, you know how you go to people's houses and they may have in their office they got their degrees up, right?
Mm-hmm.
He says, if you're married, why don't you hang up your marriage license or your marriage certificate? You should be
Mm-hmm.
just as proud of that as you are of your degree, right? That
Mm-hmm.
should be on display just like your marriages should be on display. That should be on display just like you do your degrees. And that's one of the little tip nuggets that
True.
he. And some people may think like, oh, that's stupid, that don't make sense. But you're so quick to show off your degrees, but you're not so quick to show off the person that you love
The
or the
success, yeah,
commitment
really.
or
Yeah.
the commitment that you made to somebody that you really love. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a little tip. That was pretty good. But I got two more, but I don't have them
Yeah.
here. I linked them out, and I just wanted to just mention them. The first one is well, the first one is Ego is the Enemy
Mm-hmm.
by Ryan Holiday, and The People Factor by Van Moody. Both of those were really good. And ego, of course, you know how ego can get in the way,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it could just fuck up everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And ego is the enemy. So you just, I mean, and I got books on top of books that I could talk about, but these just
Yeah.
the few that we grabbed and we wanted to have a little quick conversation about those books that we.
Okay, I have one more. This one is entitled "Keep On Going No Matter What." It's
Who
based
that's
off
Billy
of
D. Williams?
no, that's Reginald Lewis. That's Reginald Lewis. Reginald Lewis. Actually, we don't hear enough about him. He's probably one of the first in the '90s. Remember Beatrice Foods?
Sounds
You
familiar.
okay? Beatrice Foods. He was an attorney, Black attorney in the '90s. He was featured in the Ebony magazine, Jet magazine, back in like early '90s. He died, I think, 1995. But he had this book called Keep Going No Matter What. And I remember the book. I remember seeing him without knowing who he was in the '90s, because of course we ripping and running in the street. But he actually, when he sold the company, he sold it for 800 million. It turned out being worth $1 billion. So in essence, he was pretty much the first black billionaire, but he died, so he never really got to see it. His
Mm-hmm.
wife carried on his legacy, and what she did was she put this book out on top of the book that he had. Keep Watch Your White Guys Have All the Fun. That was his book initially, but his catch tagline was "Keep Going No Matter What." And so in this book, it covers people that he was either friends with, did business with, or who he inspired. So you have like Robert Johnson from BET, Ken Chenault for Chase Bank, all these people, all these wealthy blacks who were successful, all give their statement and book on how they were raised and how he inspired them to keep, to keep going and keep moving and be successful. So this is a really good book if you want to feel motivated. You can tap into everybody's story in the book. A lot of people, some of the people are still alive today, and a lot of younger people, you'll be surprised in the book too, who inspired, who knew about him. Because honestly, I didn't learn about him. I learned about him through a friend of mine, but I seen pictures of him. When you're ignorant, you're not paying attention to this stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
but you start learning, and I'm like, and I think it's important that we do celebrate some of our black heroes who in corporate, who really made a difference and who changed, who impact, and is still impacting to this day. Because I went to one of his fundraisers maybe like 4 or 5 years ago that his wife had. It was awesome, and we was at the
Mm-hmm.
Harvard Club. It was
Nice,
nice.
nice, nice. Also, I want to make mention too, because I'm telling you, we could talk for days about books. I think Charlemagne wrote 3 books.
Yes, I believe you're right.
He wrote 3. I got 2 of his 3. I didn't get the most recent one. Both of his 2 books were really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Charlemagne books was really good. Um, if your book makes the Oprah list, you
You're
fucking
good. Yeah,
made it.
you
You
solid. Yeah,
made
you
it. If your
solid.
book made the
Yeah, you
Oprah
solid.
list, bro, you made it, right?
You solid.
And
Yeah.
this is my next book, and this book was on the Oprah list, and the lady Melody Hobson. I don't know if you know who she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lady who
She owns part of the Denver Broncos, and
correct.
that's the Star Wars guy. That's his
The
wife.
wife, exactly.
Yeah.
So she recommended this book to Oprah, right? And now this book is on Oprah's list, right? It's called Unreasonable Hospitality by
Mm.
Will Gurdjieff. Forgive me if I mispronounce his name. Yo, that's my next read. That's my next read. That's my next book
Okay.
that I'm going to purchase, and that's going to be my next read. But I tell you what, man, with the way that this world is and the way that society is and the way that social media is going, um, and to me, social media is fake news. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta
Mm-hmm.
you gotta go to the source. Tap into these books, start reading. You gotta
Yes.
start reading. You gotta tap. This is how we got our information in the first place before
Yes.
social media came about. So
We was
why
reading
not?
books, reading the paper. Yes.
Why not? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
shit, I bet you they won't ever say, if you want to hide money from a black person, put it on social media, cause shit, they gonna find it on social media. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Cause that's where they keep their face buried at night all the time. So,
Mm-hmm.
nah, let's change the narrative, and let's get back into reading books because that's what we should be doing anyway. You understand what I'm saying?
Reading is fundamental, man. Riff.
It is. It
They
is.
never
It is.
lied.
It
Okay,
is.
well, it's time for the segment of the show where we in closing, where we tell somebody they gotta get their shit together. And I would like to be the one to start mine off today. My get your shit together is going out to all my social media, social platform. I don't know who the cancel culture. I'll say that. All right, they're trying to cancel right now. They're talking about trying to cancel Mike Epps and some more. For Mike Epps made a statement on, I think it was the podcast they have with Deion Cole,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about how he met this homeless guy, homeless family. Now I could be saying this wrong, so forgive me when I say this. It was funny though. He said he's God walked up to him homeless. He saw his family, jumped out, said, "Hey, they was trying to find some place to stay." So he said, "All right, come with me." He put piled up in his car. He took him to the hotel that they suggested. They get to the hotel, and the guy was like, the Mike ready to pay for the room, and the guy was like, the hotel dude said, "All right, we gonna check you in." He said, so Mike said, "How much is it?" And the hotel manager says, "Oh, it's $500 a night." So Mike Epps like, "Shit." He said, "Well, y'all gonna have to keep walking. Y'all gonna have to go ahead and find another hotel, whatever that." And he drove off and left him. So it was funny, and the way he put it was mad funny. Deion Cole cracked up. I'm cracking up laughing. Somehow they took offense that he was saying Mike Epps wasn't trying to help homeless people, and so now they want to cancel him. Samora said, I forgot what she said, but her joke, it was all funny and all fair. And they took shots, and now they talking about trying to cancel her upcoming tour dates and all this other stuff and cancel Mike Epps. And the thing is, they comedians. They make jokes. That's what they do. It's nothing personal. They're comedians. When is it where a comedian can't tell a joke? Where now everybody's trying to cancel you for everything. It's like lighten up, people. If we cancel our comedians, where's the funny now? There's no more laughter in life now. Everybody's gonna be miserable. It's damn near like the music industry right now. Everything is so miserable. Where's the sunny side up? A comedian always able, for me, was always able to make my day. Get your shit together, cancel culture. I love my comedians.
Gotcha. That's a good one. My get your shit together goes out to me and you for almost looking like twins.
Yeah, right.
Get your shit
We
together.
didn't know.
Stop trying to look like me. Me get my shit together. Stop trying to look like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shit.
get your shit together. Listen, man, it's your man Jam C,
It's your favorite Republican. Republican look.
and we've gone vocal, man. Peace. Read
Peace.
books.
Definitely.